It's time for an upcycle 15 of my all-time favorite lighting hacks. Check it out.
Start with a bamboo bath mat. I did this upcycle a few years ago and I still use it. Thrifted glass vase, a little bit of Gorilla Glue, and just adhere the bath mat to the glass jar and put a candle in. Light up the candle and you have a beautiful lighting element. I still love this one so much. This is an upcycle that my son Benjamin and I did. It was all about a piece of nature. We took a big old branch from outside that came off one of our trees during a storm, drilled some holes in it, placed some lights inside of it, and made this very cool lighting feature for our front entryway. This was such a fun piece and I loved doing it with Ben. It's very unique and very simple to do. Thrifted mini globe, drilled some holes in it around some of the different countries, drilled a hole in the top and made sure there was a hole in the bottom, and then I placed it over a lamp that I already had with just a little very low wattage LED bulb on it, twisted in place like I would a regular old lampshade, and look how pretty that looks when it's lit up. You can also do this with big globes and turn them in with a little lighting kit, turn them into hanging globes to go over desks and things in your kids' rooms. Sometimes it's not about the actual light coming from a bulb that makes things beautiful. It's about the crystals and the way the sun reflects on them. So don't forget, beautiful lighting elements don't have to have anything to do with electrical. They can just be the sun coming through beautiful crystals. And that is part of the reason why I love this upcycle so much. This upcycle every year at Christmas on my mantle. I use vintage dress trim and I hang it from the mantle. No light needed. It just catches the already existing light from the fireplace or any twinkle lights I put on the mantle. Next up, vintage sandwich goblets, some Tiki torches outside around a fire pit, and some of those little solar caps that you can take off any solar light. Just glued those right onto the sandwich goblets, and when they light up at night after they've charged all day in the sun, it creates a beautiful amber hue, and it's a really fun way to use vintage glasses. You all just saw me do my aquarium upcycle on my patio makeover. I absolutely love it. Thrifted aquariums are a dime a dozen. You get them, you clean them up, you put some pea gravel in it, throw some candles in, makes a beautiful outdoor hurricane. Wind will not blow out the candles, and you can use it all evening long without worrying about the candles going out every 2 seconds in the wind. Well, I've also seen me do this one a couple of times. I just did it in my media room makeover. These are those little grocery sack holders you can get at IKEA. A little bit of fringe, a little bit of fabric, a little bit of glue, a battery operated light bulb. Hang these on the wall and they make the most darling sconces. They are incredibly inexpensive and they're very unique and very pretty when they light up. Next up are the little wooden puck lights that I used in one of my favorite sustainable makeovers I've ever done, my laundry room. Make this a really beautiful space with things I love in it, and illuminating some of these AD covers that I framed just kind of makes it quirky and artistic, and I love being in here. They flip on and off. I charge them about once a month and I love the way it looks. Next up, don't pass by thrifted floor lamps. Brought this one home, gave it a good coat of paint and accented the gold a little bit, added a darling little lampshade with some fringe, and I think it turned out to be a perfect Anthropologie inspired situation. I know I'm always trying to find some unusual way to rework plastic things from the kitchen, so protein powder containers. This is one that I still use and I love. Put a Louvre cover on it from a art book, took a big old brass candle holder, popped it inside of the protein powder container, of course a little lampshade and a puck light on top of the candle holder, and then it just made the perfect little lamp for the front entryway. Not a bad way to use a plastic protein powder container and an art book. I'm a very big fan of using the battery operated tapered candles, the ones that flicker and look like they're a real flame. So I hung these thrifted brass sconces on the wall, and then I just take some of those battery operated candles, pop them in there. That way when we're entertaining or if at the holidays, I don't have to worry about wax dripping or there being a fire at all. Also, I love to take vintage brass chandeliers, hang them outside, and put these candles inside of them. Underneath a patio, it's just beautiful lighting, great ambiance. These stained glass panels I scored at a consignment store. I knew I wanted to bring home, glue together, and add some trim to so I could make them into the new door for my pantry. Now, normally you would put these where there's light from outside so it comes and shines through, but for me, I knew that at night when I had the pantry light on, it would be the perfect night light. So look how it glows at night. Remember, you can use stained glass pieces inside with artificial light as well. They don't always have to have sun coming through them. And this just makes our kitchen so uniquely beautiful, especially when guests stay the night. I leave this on and they come in there and they're like, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Now you can find the snacks. Those little light globes you see at the thrift store all the time, well, I took this one and I combined it with a brass bowl with a little lid that I already had to make this beautiful little lighting element. I put some string lights inside of the glass globe and then just placed it on top of the bowl, and then took a little bit of double-sided sticky tape to keep the lid on top of the globe and placed that on top of it, put it in my front entryway, and it makes the perfect little accent light. All have followed me for any amount of time. You know that I love to light old glass up. I think that there's such beauty in that. So this was another piece that I thrifted for just a couple of bucks at the thrift store, and put a pop light in it, a puck light, whatever you want to call it, with a little battery remote. Does tons of different colors, and it lights up so pretty. So the stained glass window clings y'all have seen me use a lot. I love taking those and placing them on a glass thrifted piece. Just takes a little bit of water and you just trim off the edges. Then you can put some little twinkle lights inside of those, and again, it just makes another little beautiful lighting element you can use down your table when you're entertaining, or just a little accent in your home. Not all those random glass pieces you have in your house or you see thrifting. Well, it's very easy to combine them together in different ways. I had these little glass pieces, so I decided to take just the top of this oil lamp and place it over a candle. Fits perfectly over the tapered candle and is kind of that old world vibe. Then I had another top of another oil lamp, took this little sugar bowl, put a candle in it, and then took the oil lamp top and put it on top of that. It's a great way to combine things that don't necessarily go together. Now, this is just a candle that I made out of this lamp, y'all. I was so excited when I made this. This looked like it would be the perfect candle. It was a broken lamp of my mom's, so I took it apart and I made a beeswax candle out of it. I have a whole video on all these upcycles if you want to see them in more detail. But this was one of my more creative ones, taking an old lamp and making it into a candle. I mean, come on. Ask me what made me come up with this one. I have no idea, but it was definitely fun figuring out. Y'all have seen me take crystal lamps and pull them apart and put lights in them. Well, this beautiful blue lamp was broken, so I decided to take the whole top piece off, take it apart, and thread in twinkle lights, and then place a lamp finial on top to make it look like it was just born a lantern. And this is just another way that I love to take old crystal or beautiful vintage glass lamps and light them up from the inside. Next up is not necessarily an upcycle, although I like to say that it's a fabulous hack. These are just too good not to share. These are the tulip lights that you can use command strips to stick to the ceiling around your boob lights or your canned lights, and then you can take the shade and place it over it. It magnets into place. I did this in our downstairs hallway before I gave it a little sustainable makeover with a ton of very cool rugs and thrifted, reworked art, and I just think it turned out so beautiful. These are great. I absolutely love them. So if you're not a super handy person, this would be my only store-bought thing that I would suggest getting, because I just think they're so clever how they came up with these. Next, you may have seen me score these beautiful lanterns at a consignment store. Well, I light them up with battery-operated light bulbs on the back porch. Speaking of back porches, y'all may have seen one of the episodes of my sustainable design series where I literally lit up every piece of vintage glass that I own, and decanters are a huge thing that I love to light up. They make beautiful lighting elements, especially when you're entertaining. Such a beautiful way to use old pieces, maybe that were left to you, heirlooms, or things that you can find thrifting. Really keep this stuff out of a landfill, put it on your table, and you can use it over and over and over again. I've used these pieces so many times, I can't even count. I use them in my most recent dinner party, and I use them at the holidays all the time. Remember, you can always put colored lights inside of your vintage glass. This was a holiday table I did one year, and I definitely made it light up all different colors. Happy upcycling!